Yeah, man.
That is amazing.
Yeah. I'm on Chicago too.
Right.
I want they go crazy.
Chicago,
You know what they call Chicago Chirac. Chirac, yeah.
right up the highway.
Very cool. I don't think it's it ain't too close to St. Louis. So.
Right, we in the Midwest, ain't we?
Yes, sir.
312, 313, are we 312?
They was out in full force down there on J Station Road and National Bridge this morning at the gas station. I mean, they were driving vehicles that you don't even see on TV. You know what I'm
You
saying?
see me looking back and I'm like, oh.
I saw, I was like, what's going on? They had the gas station lot full.
Anything more going on up there?
You jump like that. I'm on the road. Hell on with us.
What's happening up there?
See those fellow houses on up 30.
They just want to get us used to it like anything else. Right, so they demonstrate right in front of us. We busy looking down at our phones.
Right.
Start out Matthew 24, y'all. We're gonna go over a topic today. Yo, we don't want to sound like that we some great one or some prophet, but today we're gonna hit on one day closer to Zion, or Holy Jerusalem, y'all. As we start to see the parable of the fig tree unfold, y'all, we need to start looking toward the hills from whence our help cometh. Y'all, because it's about to get tense in the world. Y'all been watching any parts of the news. You see how volatile the homeland and what state we're in right now. What's going on, shit?
We're going to Matthew 24 first? Yeah. All right, y'all, we're going to Matthew, the 24th chapter.
And let us know another thing tonight. They're talking about the super moon tonight. The signs in the heavens is supposed to be a full moon tonight, the 15th day of the month. But it's called a super moon. This one going to be so bright, you're going to think the sun shining.
Like the sun was last night, if you seen it.
But y'all, the signs in the heavens.
Sitting, as it was sitting.
Right.
Me and the world was looking like, whoa.
The signs in the heavens are starting to show themselves as was prophesied.
What verse you start at, brother?
Verse 32.
You want to go to 29?
I'm back up to 29.
The book of Matthew, chapter 24. Starting at verse 29. How we looking? Wait till everybody get there. Everybody just follow along. Won't be, it's what those brothers said down there.
That's right.
No, we went to Matthew 24. We start reading. Then everybody fight. All right, Matthew 24. Everybody there? We good? All right, Matthew 24, verse 29. Immediately after the tribulation.
Immediately after what?
The tribulation.
So, the tribulation has taken place. Y'all, and immediately after that, a very magnificent event gonna take place. We smoke.
Immediately after the tribulation of those days, shall the sun be dark, and the moon shall not give her light.
So these, we see that the signs are in the heaven that was spoken of for us to watch the heavens, but not to worship them.
Right.
Come on, man. No worship according to Deuteronomy in the law, 4:19. No worship of the ordinances. The Most High made the sun, the moon, and the stars. So you can't reduce his glory and his majesty down to the objects that he made, the ordinances that he made. Go ahead, brother.
And the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken.
So the Most High said, not only is he going to quake the earth, he going to quake the heavens as well. So y'all, this is going to be a very serious time in our life when you see things that they may call meteorites flood the earth. Because when he shake them, where else do they have to go? And earth is in outer space, y'all. Just like all the other planets. It's called planet Earth, just like planet Venus or wherever else. Earth is in outer space. Read some more.
Verse 30. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven.
See, so now we'll see the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. So we're going to see a regeneration coming towards this earth of righteousness. You're going to see that. Just like when you hear somebody talking about they have a near-death experience and they see that light, well, you're going to see that light they've been talking about. But it's going to have a sword in his hand. Coming back to handle some business. Go ahead, bro.
Read it again, verse 30. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn. And they shall see the Son of Man.
What they gonna do?
And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn. And they shall see the Son of Man.
So you gonna see the Christ. Out of all the boogeyman talk you've been hearing, some of those who want to say, well, no, you waiting on some man to come out the clouds, y'all crazy. But yet they'll talk about a UFO. Oh, you talking about the graves, huh? But the Son of Man told you he was up there, and then you're going to sneak and steal his prophecies, though, when you need it. Go ahead.
And they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory.
See, with power and great glory. So, y'all, that magnificent light that lighted the world in Genesis 1 and 1 and 1 and 2,
Yeah.
that light is coming back to the same situation where the sun and the moon and the stars have been knocked out. Preceding his second coming, y'all. This gonna be the signs in the heaven. Look, that sign hit Egypt when they was dark for 3 days. 3 days. I'm talking about pitch black. I'm talking about groping like a blind man about 12 noon trying to feel for something. Go ahead, brother.
We in Matthew 24, we in verse 31. And he shall send his angel.
Who he gonna send?
His angel. With a great sound of a trumpet. And they shall gather together his elect from the four winds.
So where they gathering them from?
The four winds.
So we see that the gathering has not taken place yet. The gathering is taking place now, so that kills any rapture. Because right here, immediately after the tribulation, then we see Christ.
Yeah.
Then we see a gathering after the tribulation.
Tribulation.
So the so-called rapture doctrine is false, based on the from their own writings that they say it must take place before the tribulation happens. And if they're using the Bible, I don't know how they're going to prove that.
No.
Go ahead, bro.
It says, his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. Verse 32. Now learn a parable of the fig tree.
What we gonna learn?
A parable of the fig tree. When his branch is yet tender, and putteth forth leaves, ye know that summer is nigh.
So, like manner, what Christ is saying is that when you look and you start to see buds growing and popping out in March, April, you know something of life is finna pop out of that. This tree ain't dead. It's finna regenerate life. So he said when you start to see the things bud concerning the second coming of Christ that ain't been mentioned before, or that you can pinpoint with your finger. You can say, well, yeah, that happened 100 years ago, but it ain't happened like this, y'all. When you can sit at home or in your car in the parking lot and watch World War III being prepared over there in the Middle East on your smartphone.
Being prepared.
See, it's going to be without excuse. And the Most High said, when it's able to reach every man, woman, and child via internet. You know, they got the internet over in the Amazon jungle. Satellites beaming in. And when they put them holograms up there to deceive, we so wrapped up right now in 3D, we don't know what to do. Go ahead, bro, read some more.
Verse 33. So likewise ye, when ye shall see all these things, know that it is near, even at the door.
Even at the door, y'all. Go ahead.
Verily, I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till all these things be fulfilled.
See, now a lot of people say, well, this happened in 70 AD.
No.
This was the abomination of desolation taking place. Jerusalem was destroyed. It was knocked down to the ground. So, yeah, you gave us all of that with northern Jerusalem, where that Roman citadel wall is standing, saying that that was Jerusalem. No, Jerusalem was in the land of the Jebusites, South Jerusalem. Telerad that was tore all the way down to the ground. So that wall that you see the Edomites bowing to, or those so-called Jews, that ain't the Jerusalem, that ain't the city of David.
No.
When you read Joshua chapter 1, Joshua chapter 10, it'll tell you where the city of David was located. And it ain't a stone on top of a stone now.
And that's what Mount Zion is, the city of David.
That's right. So y'all, when we are starting to see these things, when you're able to just hit a button, I'm talking about in nanoseconds, bring you back the news from Jerusalem. Y'all, we're in a powerful time that wasn't 100 years ago.
Yeah.
When you're able to destroy every man, woman, and child off of planet Earth with the push of a button, that wasn't 100 years ago. That's right now. And the numbering system, we already know they got the RFID chips waiting in the wings.
Yep.
They're going to keep letting fraud go in identity theft until you say, I'm tired, put it on me. And $326.32 was all I had, and they took that. Put it on me.
They had a story in Texas in 2015. It's required that if your child go to a public school, they got to be chipped.
Got to be chipped, yeah. And we on the brink of some major stuff.
Y'all, some major stuff is happening, but the key is not to be fooled by the head fake and looking at the signs on earth. The signs that said will be in the heavens first. That's what we got to concentrate on. What are we seeing in the signs of the heavens? Are we seeing shaking in the heavens? Are we seeing these things that we need to pay attention to? Not worship, but just pay attention to so we stay in line with the parable of the fig tree. If we don't, we'll start naming when the day gonna be. Look, we don't know. It could be another 50 years before this takes place. But right now, the way the deck is being stacked, just like it's impossible for anybody else on the planet, whoever lived or whoever will live, to fit the prophecy that Christ, Yeshua, fulfilled. It's 57, well, what you do, put 10,000, what you said then, 57,000 zeros behind the possibility of it being somebody else.
1 to the 157 power. Like that's a number 1 with 157 zeros behind it.
That this could be somebody else. So in like manner, when we read the prophecies, we're putting it in time dispensations when it's possible for, he said, if I didn't come back quick, they would destroy everybody off of earth. So that's now, because America in 1980 could do it 113 times. Russia could do it 87. I'm talking about you push a nuke button and the whole world will be destroyed.
You gonna build weapons not to use them, huh?
Now understand what Hamas is doing over there now. They are firing rockets into Dimona. Guess who in Dimona?
The bus driver.
Benny the bus driver.
Benny Carter, who claimed that the prophet Gabriel talked to him and he took hundreds of Israelites over there to Israel back in the 70s. And guess what they put them at? In Dimona, where their nuclear plant is sitting. And it's leaking. And they find rockets over there. So you run from America. We have to understand Babylon is a system, not just a landmass. It's a system first. Then it's the landmass where that system is being implemented on the people there. So y'all, we got to be extra careful. Not saying that you can't go home, but if you think you're going to escape the prophecies written, you got another thing. Luke 24 says it's going to be surviving. And let me get back to 70 AD, why this is not 70 AD. When Nero Caesar went in there, he didn't go into Jerusalem and set up a temple and proclaim himself God. He sent his agent Vaspi.
Titus in this place.
Titus. And they went in there, but never, they just poured swine blood over the altar, but there's no recording of him sitting on the throne and anybody calling him God. I don't care because that was 90% alike, but it ain't the abomination of desolation that's written to come. When wickedness will be unleashed on this earth ain't been seen, like Christ said, ever before, nor up until this time will it ever be. So what you going to compare it to? Let's read some more.
Verse 35. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my words shall not pass away.
Because it's already been prophesied, as you see. Don't you know they have nuclear bombs in outer space? The book of Obadiah, we're going to get into a little later.
Yeah, they weaponize in space. They get prepared to fight against the Lord upon his return.
That's right.
And they ain't out weaponized in space to shoot down ET or nothing like that.
Right.
Right? So for the same people to tell you when you're crazy waiting on something to come out the sky, the powers that be know the prophecies. That's why they're weaponizing space now. Why all the weapons pointing toward outer space?
That's right.
What they know you still ain't figured out. Verse 36. But of that day and hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only.
So right now we got a problem with anybody saying it's going to be this day or this date. We got a GMS boy hollering it was going to be the year 2000. He had too much of Prince Al, 1999. It's 2014. What that make him?
A false prophet.
So y'all, we watch the signs of heaven. When we start to see in the puzzle, the pieces be getting put together, y'all, we gonna know what time it is. It ain't gonna be guesswork. It's gonna be sign work. Easy to acknowledge because it's gonna be in the heavens where all you have to do is look up. Go ahead, bro. Read smoke.
Verse 37. But as the days of Noah were.
As the days of who?
Noah were.
So let's get it in our mind straight on what happened when Noah's day was going on. The same exact thing that's happening now. The same exact thing. Men out of control, women out of control, sinning at a high level, sinning being legalized in all the nations in the world. Go ahead, read some more.
But as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. For as in the days that were before the flood.
Before the what?
The flood.
So it ain't no new thing under the sun, and the Most High say, I change not. So this is why he's taking you back to the beginning to let you know the same rules that applied then will apply now. Go ahead, brother.
For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage.
See, they were marrying according to the Lord. A man marries his daughter. He gives her away to another man. I don't care what way you've been to say, what man giveth this woman to be wed? The Father brought Eve to Adam. So it said now that they are being given in marriage. How's a man being given in marriage? Where is that taking place?
Heard in the streets of
Hey, we see that now. Now men are being given in marriage.
here in this.
What side
city.
you gonna sit on, the bride or the groom?
I ain't gonna be there.
Right. Go ahead, brother.
Right.
Verse 38 again. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage,
Until what?
until the day that Noah entered into the ark.
So look, it's saying no matter what we say or what you do, those that hear the word of the Most High gonna hear the word and take heed. Some people just ain't gonna hear it, just like this saying they was partying to the clock.
Yeah.
Like they look at it like 1999, like they count down New Year's. Like it's gonna be that pleasant when the Most High returns. Like he's coming back at a picnic table behind a plenty charcoal and that fuel burning. Give me some, hold that, man. Give me some Amos 5.
I'm already there, bro. Amos 5, verse 18.
The Lord got a barbecue pit fire.
Hey.
Got some fire for it.
Yeah, go ahead, Amos 5:18.
The book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 18. Woe unto you.
Hold on, let me get that, bro.
I thought you were just for it.
No, I'm good, but I want to And y'all, these are not boogeyman scriptures that we breaking off, y'all. This is just understanding. If you see your parents come home and they got a different look on their face, it's a problem. Eyebrows are touching in the center. Lips toe up, you be like, wait a minute, this ain't gonna be good. Cause you know something wrong. Go ahead.
The book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 18. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord.
What did he say again?
Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord.
Look, why would there be a woe or a caution that you desire the day of the Lord? Ain't that what we looking for? That's what we say, don't we? We wait on the day of the Lord. We started off one day closer to Zion. But y'all, there's a woe regarding, but it's going to explain itself. So that we need not fear. Go ahead.
To what end is it for you?
See, the question is, to what end is it for you? What you've been doing? At the end. See, we've been doing it to the end because we at the day of the Lord. If you were alive at this point, you are at the day of the Lord. So what end is it for you? You done made it through all of them in your lifetime. You will witness Christ at his second coming. Just like those that witnessed his first coming, his miracle, and those things. So you are right here. Or if you resurrected, it's the same situation. The king is here. Go ahead.
The day of the Lord is darkness.
What is it?
The day of the Lord is darkness.
Oh, we just read in Matthew that the sun and the moon going to be knocked out. The lights are going to be destroyed. Where there be no light shining on earth. So we see that already. It's going to be a dark day, just like in the beginning. When there was no lights in the heaven. The sun and the moon were created to the fourth day. But they talk about lights in Genesis 1 and 2. What lights are those? Let's read some more.
The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. As if a man did flee from a lion.
As if he did what?
As if a man did flee from a lion.
Now you know how fast we'll run from pit bull that always seem to get loose around time school out. You fleeing from that, and then what you running to?
As if a man did flee from a lion and a bear man.
And a what man?
And a bear man.
Now a bear beat you. Now you think the pit bull was tougher than the bear? Do y'all know the most dangerous, the most powerful beast on planet Earth is the polar bear? Nothing stands up to it. So you run from that to this. In the day of the Lord, cause why you running? That's the key. What you running for? Go ahead, brother.
Or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall, and a serpent bit.
And what bit?
And a serpent bit.
Uh-huh.
Shall not the day of the Lord be darkness and not light? even very dark.
Even what?
Even very dark.
Right?
And no brightness in it.
See, and there's no brightness in it because it's at total wickedness at this point. Just like the days of Noah when it got dark, when the heavens opened up, the heavens are going to open up the same way, but it's going to be majorly drunk when the Lord comes back. What you got, brother?
Quick precept. 2 Peter 3 and 10.
What it say?
It says, but the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night.
As a what?
As a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise. And with a great noise. And the elements shall melt with fervent heat.
See, y'all, this time I said the Lord will return by fire. It's already been mentioned. It's been through every scripture and prophecy on the second coming. Out of all the religions on earth, one of them escaped across judgment. The rest of them don't even mention judgment. This is the bottom line when you ask somebody about this doctrine. Who you believe? Well, Buddha got some good writings. There's a few good things in the Book of the Dead. I saw some good things in the Quran. But the bottom line is, where do we end up from the condition that we are in now and that the world is in right now? How do we end up? How do we end up? That's the next question. Because this can continue for how long? Do you see right now any change in the way the world is running?
No.
You are powerless to stop man-on-man marriage, woman-on-woman marriage. What you gonna do about that? How you gonna stop it? How you gonna stop what happened in Chicago on the 4th of July? 4th of July. How you gonna stop 60 killed on that one day? Y'all, you got to get things right. We're going to talk about some things of how we have to get our temple right to be able to last and to be in there one day closer.
Those who say the heavens are going to pass away with a great noise.
Great noise.
That's in the day of the Lord.
Go ahead, brother.
And it says, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat.
What it's going to melt with?
The elements shall melt with fervent heat.
Now, y'all know, look, Sodom and Gomorrah is still an example. They still pulling up brimstone, little circles up there. Ain't nothing ever cool back there anymore. Now, Lot's wife is still standing there.
Yeah. To this day.
As a memorial, y'all, when you running and looking back, we got to know what we're running for, if we're running. Go ahead, bro. Read some more.
It says, the earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up.
Y'all, this is major. If y'all ever saw that movie, The Knowing, at the end, but the Most High say, my people, I'm going to save them out of it. Y'all, that's our only shot. If you want to be saved out of it, you got to get in the program. Go ahead, bro. That's it. Back that up in Jeremiah chapter 3. Y'all, we're going to finish up that Matthew 24, but I just want to get right to Jeremiah chapter 3. Y'all, when all of these things come and all of these signs, why are we continuing doing what we doing and we see happening right before our eyes? Y'all, don't y'all, the way these things are happening and how it looks like an abomination to you, but if it don't come to pass, we won't know where we at in the parable of the fig tree. Now, we need to compare this time to the times of Noah. This time, there's supernatural intervention with the human race by way of pharmaceutical. Did I say that right, brother?
Pharmaceuticals.
Just like in the days of Noah was before the end of the world, they were mixing roots and plants, according to the book of Enoch. Now, and it said, and they found ways to break them down. So they broke them down for their purposes. Just like today, medicine is broken down for a certain way. If you give your son Risperdal, This how you gonna know he got Risperdal. He's got breath.